Oh yeah, we're having a great time. I was in the 20s this morning on the motorcycle. Let's see if the sound is working. Time. Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the WDMA. We're going to be talking about, whoa, we're going to be talking about, let's just begin again. What is wrong here? I'll trim this off. It's when I really botch it, then it's easier actually to fix it. Okay, there we go. Now we got it going. Let's get to the cut to the chase there. There we go. Okay. Ho ho ho. I'm John Miglash for the WDMA. And we're going to be talking about mail today, but we're also going to be talking about some other things. And I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope it challenges your thinking. First of all, I'd like to invite you to the WDMA Jingle Mingle tomorrow at 3 p.m. Of course, one friend wrote me that it would be 2:30 in the morning. I'm not sure where they are. Pakistan, maybe? I just really don't know. Probably not. Probably east of India, I think, is where that time zone might be. Anyway, so, that's an excuse, although, if you want to get up and join us, that would be great. And for the rest of you, you have no excuse as good as that one. So, but I've got 21 people or something saying they're coming, and that's more than we can probably handle. So don't sign up. You're going to miss a great event. We got great people, celebrities who are coming, but we don't need your help. But if you want to find it, I'll put a link in the show comments. I took a LinkedIn course last week, and it actually seems to be right. Basically, it said that the old guys on LinkedIn who have 100,000 followers don't get much engagement. LinkedIn only looks at the last 2 weeks. They don't care that you have 100,000 followers if nobody's following you lately. So you got to work with LinkedIn like today's LinkedIn, and that's a great lesson for us all the time. What have you done for me lately? And so that's why I do this every day, so you have something to enjoy. Anyway, let's watch this cute Cadbury Christmas special, and it's about that they're reintroducing their Cadbury coins. Nice music. That's it. Okay, they put up decorations in Leeds. We'll get over to that story in a second. Here we go. Close this. My sweetie's having she's a little under the weather, and so I've been helping out around the house. After almost 10 years away from the shelves, confectionery brand Cadbury is bringing back its chocolate coins right in time for the festive period. This is backup, but I like it. I'll keep doing these anyway. Mondelez owned company and its ad agency VCCP. Is that Chinese? I think the CCP is Chinese. These ad agency names that change with the wind. But anyway, out of home, that's what OOH means, out of home, build in Leeds, and then they videotaped it, which made a commercial. And it's kind of cute. Gets the point across in 15 seconds, which is the beginning of a YouTube, before you can stop it. You've already gotten the message across. Okay, this was an interesting article. X will thrive in and I don't think I saved it when I marked it up, despite Musk. Thrive in 2024. Oh, yeah, there it is. SF Gate, which is probably San Francisco Gate, recently released an article titled The End of Elon Musk, and it was and they tweeted, "Beyond the cursing, Elon Musk's interview is erratic enough to end his career." And the article goes on to say, Elon does not care what you say. And hot takes about X's doomed future maybe are all over the place, but we're still talking about X because X still exists, seemingly defying all odds and catchy article titles. And a platform so ingrained in the ethos of its users that it's bulletproof. And my proof of that, because as in the last year, I kind of gave up on Twitter because it was so one-sided, essentially. And I was kind of afraid if I posted almost anything, that I'd get blocked or banned. My wife got blocked. Well, not technically. She just couldn't log on anymore. They somehow disabled her password and she couldn't get it back. So she created a new one. I encouraged her to try and get it back, but when you hear the news saying that the Pope tweeted today, or the head of Hamas tweeted today, or whoever it is, it doesn't matter. Whatever is the news, the rest of the world puts it up on Twitter. If they have a large following, they know that's better than a PR agency, or maybe the PR agency does it for them. And when you have that kind of diversity out there, when you have that kind of community, not in the sense of fellowship, but in the sense of breadth and diversity and ubiquitousness, is that a word? You don't replace that. I got mad at Facebook for some reason, I don't remember what, and I tried to leave it. But my friends from high school are on it, us oldies, and the beekeepers are on it, right? And now I'm on an art group, and if you go to Twitter and look for beekeeping groups, I'm sure there's some, or TikTok, but that just doesn't. That's not what it's about. So it's hard to get. I don't remember what I went to, something else, Rumble or somebody that was claiming, Gab maybe, that was claiming to have a similar software, but that's not what it's about. I remember years and years and years ago, a friend of mine was going to a big church, mega church, and we had a little church. And I said, "Why don't you come to our church?" And he said, "Well, we're actually starting a church next door to yours, sort of, or more or less. And since we have, I don't remember, 100,000 people coming, let's say, to the mega church, we're going to just, instantly have 1,000 people every day, every Sunday." And so they did. They started a church, and it did okay, but it didn't have any more than we did. It was a little church, a second little church. And I thought about it, and what happens is that you have communities, let's say in a church, and they said, well, since we mapped our members that are way over here, if we start a church, all those people will go to our new church. But it doesn't work like that for two reasons. One, Trout and Reese point out that you have categories in your mind. When we got married, my wife would still, when she was in Chicago, buy her Italian sausage at Dominic's Finer Foods. I told her Wisconsin has lots of sausage. We don't really need to go to Dominic's for our sausage. And she said, that's where we go for sausage. And she had a place for chicken, and she had another place for vegetables, and, she had it all. And she had a backup for each of them, but she didn't have 7. She had it all categorized out. And that's the way our minds work. So when you say, where do you go to church? Somebody has an answer. When you say, where do you shop for clothes or whatever, shoes, you have categories in your head. And those don't change that easily, right? And also, you have connections, okay? You have connections. And in your social areas, in your church or your school, or I mentioned those two already, let's just keep with those. And so, yes, there's this big group of people, and there's another group of people, a subset that lives over here. But you're not going to get 100% of those. Why? Because 100% of their friends in the bigger group aren't in that geography, but they meet in that larger group. And so if they leave, they're leaving whatever, potentially 3/4 of their friends who won't be going over there because they don't live over there, but they do end up at the same big place on Sunday. Okay, so it's not so simple. And what Twitter has is they have the big place. Okay, now so let's say I'm a left-leaning journalist, and I say to all my friends, let's all go to Twitter. I mean, let's all leave Twitter and go to, I don't know what, Mastodon or something. And some of them leave. Maybe a third of us leave and go to Mastodon. But we've just lost 2/3 of our other friends that just for inertia reasons didn't leave. And that's what's happened, I think, in Twitter. And now people are saying, well, Mastodon didn't work out. We have less and less, fewer and fewer people all the time. So let's go back to Twitter. and so no platform can do what Twitter does. And it's partly the categories in your brain, and it's partly the community itself. And so don't expect Twitter to go away. Elon Musk went and posted this last week, I think the 15th or something, and he showed organic traffic from Instagram versus X, and the blue is X, and X is going up, and Instagram went down when things changed. So not only did some people not like the new Twitter, but some people liked the new Twitter. I went back and became more active. That's on mobile. On the web, similarly, X has gone up, and on the web, Instagram has stayed level. I occasionally go to, I don't have that community, and I have a few people that I follow on Instagram only, and they write me back and forth, so I go there to check messages, but I don't live there. Okay, so I received this morning, a direct mail marketing survey. I'll put the link in the show in the comments, and it just asks a few simple questions. Where are you from? Optional. Zip code is mandatory, which is fine. Your name or email is optional. How frequently do you get some mail? What industries do you think are they coming from? Do you ever take action? And I said I liked catalogs best. Okay, so that's rework.ai is using that to decide which B2B industries they might focus on initially. I could answer that question without the survey. I could tell them, there's plenty of surveys about where the money's getting spent, and they're a member of WDMA, so I'll help them out, fill out the survey. The link, as I said, will be in the comments. Okay, and here's an article by Michael Plummer, who is a regular on Forbes and often mentions direct mail. So I was kind of excited about how to market to younger generations. Now, they're getting into the workforce, but they don't have a lot of money yet. Take it from me, I know my kids. I think my son he was born in 1990. I think that's like he's the old side of the Gen Z, I think. But he is working. He does have some money. He just spends a lot of time on social media. I love this first line. That's why I like the article. As the last of the baby boomers get ready to retire. Am I ready to retire? I don't know. It was awful cold on the motorcycle this morning. And snow flurries. Ooh, snow flurries always make me a little nervous. Icy streets and motorcycles are probably not a good combination. And it was in the 20s, so woohoo, it was cold. But here I am. My wife's given up on saying, are you sure you want to go out on the motorcycle today? Yeah, I always like going on the motorcycle. It makes me feel alive. I tell her that. It wakes you up. So Gen Z has begun, with the emphasis in my vocabulary on the word begun, coming of age. Yeah, at least they're all out of the house. And if you use the old stuff, like we talked about, the LinkedIn algorithm, you might come off as lame, okay? Because the digital Gen Z are digital natives. The only thing we could use to potty train my son was internet time. He loved playing on the computer. I'm not sure it was the internet at that point. It might have been a kid's game, but he definitely, that was the reward that he could grasp at that point in his life. So he was raised on the computer. Okay, they average 3 times a day. They want shoppable links. They listen to influencers, and most are not really celebrities, but they're in their interest category. Okay, they don't like outdated websites. I should update my website. But if they're on social media, they'll know I update my LinkedIn every few minutes. Okay, they focus on visuals, so video ought to be great. Video is worth 10,000s of words, but keep it brief. There's where I fail on that one. And foster two-way communication. They're very outspoken. I don't know that that's something new with this young generation. I remember the 60s and 70s. We were, the boomers were very, very outspoken about all kinds of social issues. But then, then you get married and you get kids and you worry about the house payments and, you put your head down and get to work and, that's the way it happens. That's kind of a generational thing that happens every cycle. Also, now this is a little odd. Then the article, let's see what it is, Michael, goes another direction and says incorporate traditional marketing, which seems like it would be the old fuddy thing. But he argues that while digital marketing is crucial for reaching Gen Z, traditional marketing methods like direct mail shouldn't be overlooked. Direct mail can be an effective way to grab their attention in a cluttered digital world. Right. If there's anybody that's got digital overload, it's the Gen Zs. However, the key is to make it interactive. QRs that lead to exclusive online content are one tactic that can bridge the gap between traditional and digital marketing. What's the one flaw of digital marketing? I mean, what's the one flaw of QRs? Well, up here it says that they are on their phone more than they are on a computer. Let's see where it is. It's up here someplace. And that they're mobile. How do you scan a QR code if it's on mobile? You can't. That's a flaw in it. They should also, if there's one on my screen, I mean, you can screen capture. No, you can't. It doesn't work. So there ought to be a way for the phone to recognize that QR and take you to that link if you hold your finger on it or something. There's something for Samsung to work out, or Apple. Anyway, so the truth is that offline, but if you mail them, it works. That's important to remember also. If they're looking at a postcard with a QR on it, right? I probably have one laying here right now, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. If you have a postcard or a mailer that has a QR, then it is scannable with your phone. So it works better with the phone. How do you scan a QR with a PC? Don't know. Doesn't work, right? So that's another flaw, right? Another flaw would be use my camera. I have a camera and enable me. And I think there's apps on the PC, but it's a pain in the neck. It doesn't have the autofocus and all the rest of it. It's very, very difficult to do. And so it actually, Royal Mail did a survey this summer, and they found that the Gen Zs were the most open to direct mail. So just more reason for you to start and try. But if you haven't ever tried direct mail or you'd like to talk about it, come to the thing tomorrow. It's at 3 p.m. Chicago time, and we'll hang out. We're going to talk direct mail. We have a little trivia contest. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Bye-bye.